Good morning everyone again. We are back here with another new open trading day. Hope you're all doing well. And yes, here we do have a market. It's 9:20 New York local time, and we have 10 minutes to open the market. Let's have a look from 15-minute chart. Here in the 15-minute chart, there was a CB that was interested to see the reaction of the market to it, and we see the market was respecting the consequent encouragement of it, and after that has a very nice ride to lower, but failed to go below these relative equal lows over here, which are the target for me in this morning session. Okay, that seems a little too large. We are going to have probably a premium opening for this morning, because yesterday we closed at 18,436 and a half, so now we are above the closing price at yesterday's settlement. Dropping down to 5-minute chart to have a overview here. Okay, now we see at 800 we had a run toward the new day opening gap of first Friday in April. It failed to reach there, and after that we had a consolidation and finally respecting once again to the 15-minute CB. Here in the 5-minute chart there is a CB over here that is quite interesting to me, because it is coupled with this EC, and we are going to have a look at this. Let's write it down. CB for classification. On this side of the chart, I'm actually looking to these price levels over here. This is forming a breaker block, and we mainly focus on this block over here in this candle as our breaker block in 5-minute chart. Dropping down to 1-minute chart, and let's see what we have here. Okay, in the 1-minute chart we are seeing that the market is respecting this 5-minute CB. Now we are trading Here let's also have a little measurement on this week, because this is my interest to see the reaction to quarters. I like to see this on the right side. Okay, we see the market couldn't go more than the first quarter of the price, as you can see here. So we traded lower and we went in below the 15-minute CB. Once we tried to reach to the 5-minute breaker block, which was coming from this over here, and dropping lower, clearing the sell side liquidity over here. The main sell side liquidity that is interesting to me is at 18,452 and 3/4 for this morning. Alright, now we are just waiting for around 3 minutes more to see the opening bell and how the market is reacting. This can be different colors so we have it more visible. Okay, one thing that I would like to do for this trading day is to have the overview of 1-minute chart. Here I would like to have 15-minute charts, and in here I would like to have a 5-minute chart. These are the main chart that is important to me, and I would like to start streaming today in this configuration and formation. So we have an overview from 2 higher time frames in order to give us a better understanding of price movement. Trading into the CB forming here, and let's see how it's acting and behaving. Apparently it is failing there, now touching the high of the new day opening gap. Around 2 minutes to the opening bell. Okay, as I said, for this morning I am very interested to see a market is trading lower prices and tries to fill the open range gap at 18,436.5, and ideally trying to reach to the today's new day opening gap just before 400 level. Five seconds to the opening bell, and let's see how the market is behaving. Okay, now we have the market open. From here to okay, this is our open range gap. Just let's wait for the first presented fair value gap of the day forming. Trying to reach the consequent encouragement of the open range gap and just fell short. And we touched it now, this pump. Getting very close to the relative equal lows that I mentioned, and here we touched them. So we also closed the open range gap by touching the low of the open range gap at 18,436.5. Still waiting for the first presented fair value gap. And my bias still is bearish for today, because if you have a look, we do have a inefficiency over here below this relative equal lows that are formed in Asia session yesterday. Alright, we are going to have probably this as our first presented fair value gap. Yes, we have this as a first presented fair value gap, and I would like to see the market's reaction to this. It's around 30 handles of the gap. Still keep going lower and lower. Touching the low of the ORG, and let's see the behavior of the market here. No attempt to reach the first presented fair value gap. Okay, in this candle maybe we are trying to reach the first presented fair value gap, and let's see the reaction, if it gives us any chance or position for going short. I have a feeling that in this morning they are using this first 30 minutes as a kind of manipulation for the price line, and probably they are sending the price below the new day opening gap of today's low, and after that we have a kind of shift in the market structure and trying to reach higher prices. But this is my first opinion for today. Still, I'm bearish on the market today, and let's see what happens. Trying to reach the settlement price at 414 yesterday's trading hour. We have a CB. All right. Still, I see no interesting point to get into position so far, so we just need to wait. Getting into the consolidation phase. Just measuring and watching the price reaction to the consequent encouragement of this week. Just touched it and the lower quadrant. Okay, the market doesn't show any interest for going higher to reach the first presented fair value gap, and in my opinion this is the suspicious point for sending price lower, because at this point I'm expecting they're using this consolidation here in order to accumulate for going long, and we just need to wait and see how the market is reacting. The lower quadrant of the week still again touched. The high of the new day opening gap for today was touched, and let's see the reaction of the market from here. Okay, once again we touched the high of the new day opening gap and trying to see if the market is closing above the consequent encouragement of the week, so we might have a little strength for going and visiting higher prices. 15 seconds to close the candle in 1 minute chart. Okay, now we closed above the consequent encouragement, and I'm expecting to see a little run lower to the first or upper quadrant of this week, and then from here going to the first presented fair value gap. Let's see the market reaction. We touched the low of the ORG this morning and getting close to the first presented fair value gap at this. Yes, we just touched the low of the first presented fair value gap, and let's see how this candle is reacting. Okay, I would like to put a short position here. One contract. Okay, we are not just waiting for the price to see how it behaves. We got into the position right now, and let's see the reaction of the market to the first presented fair value gap. Okay, so far the market rejected the first to go higher prices of in the first present fair value gap, and we are trading below the settlement price or ORG low for today's session. Let's see if the market has the power to reach our target and give us a profit. Okay, we are still trading in the BC that is formed over here and close to our target. Yes, the first position of today we hit our target of trading, and let's see if the market is behaving positive or no. I would like to review the reasons of trading in this position that is happened in 2 minutes, I guess. 1 and 2. Yes, in 2 minutes we have reached to our target. The reason for this was this first presented fair value gap that is coupled with the relative equal loss from Asian session, as well as if you see here we do have a kind of breaker in the 5-minute chart, high low and higher high, that is cleared the buy side liquidity over here. So once we traded in this candle here, touching the low of this red candle here. If you look at the chart 5 minutes on the left bottom side, you can see we traded into this red candle over here by this week, and I used it as an entry for going short, and you can see the market has give us the profit within 2 minutes. So we are just now waiting for the market and see how it's going to react. So far we closed above the consequent encouragement of the week that we're mirroring over here, and now we are just waiting. Alright, I'm back again after drinking a little water to be hydrated. So now we are trading around the consequent encouragement of new day opening gap for today. That is formed between closing hour at 5 yesterday's trading hour and opening price at 6 for today's trading. As you can see here, the closing price at the candle 459 of yesterday's trading, and the opening tick of the candle at 6 p.m. yesterday's trading. That is creating the today trading days. We can see we are closing almost above the consequent encouragement of the new day opening gap. So let's see what we can have here. As you can see, the entry price is 18,453.5, and the exit price is 18,412.75. Once again, we are trying to approach to this PC over here. This is what I'm watching right now. And let's see how it's trading into this, and if this is possible to give us any inversion opportunity, because so far we closed below it and we tried to reach to it and it's rejecting to go higher prices. Touching the low of the opening range gap, and now we are going higher to reach the first presented fair value gap of this morning. now we are trading to the consequent encouragement of the new day, of the first presented fair value gap of today, and also CA of our open range gap. Just traded a week out of the first presented fair value gap, and we are trying to reach the opening price at 9:30. Okay, week failed to close above the fair value gap of today, and now we are trading a little bit above it, but let's see how this candle can close. Is it strong enough to go and close above the first presented fair value gap and have a return back to test it, and ideally and potentially sending the price for reaching the higher prices? Okay, after touching once again the high of the first presented fair value gap, we have a run upward to reach the high of the new day opening gap from April 11th, and we traded into this CB over here, that is from pre-market opening. We are now trading at the opening price at 9:30. By doing this, it's a little suspicious that they want to send price higher or no. I still believe that price can be sent higher from here, but it takes a little time because now we are in the first presented fair value gap and trading around the consequent encouragement of it and ORG. So let's see the reaction of the market over here. Maybe it's not very certain and short to get for long position here, You just need to wait. Now trading into this PC over here that is coupled with this block over here that I believe it can be our breaker block, this white candle over here. Let's see if it has the power to send price higher. So far we are trading into this PC over here and top of the breaker block here. I'm expecting to see a run after touching this fair value gap over here. Let's see if the market has ability to do this and give us a run from here to touch higher prices. One minute to the closing of opening range, and after that we are entering to silver bullet time window. A very good reaction from touching the low of opening range gap and breaker block, and now we are trading above the consequent encouragement of first presented fair value gap. Once again touch the breaker block. This is a little suspicious because if you have a run higher, I would like to see continuation and not going back all the way back to touch the low of the opening range gap. trading back into the represented fair value gap, and after tapping into the fair value gap I showed, the market is starting going higher and higher. Okay, once again we are trading into the breaker block. This is a kind of market that is not very interesting to me actually, but it is a kind of market condition that we are already in. So let's see what we do have. The only thing I can say is do not rush and do not try to make magic from this. So far the expectation I had was panned out. From the first presented fair value gap over here we got a position, and within 2 minutes we got our profit. The market went a little lower, but it's not important at all. And the second one was this price run from here to here, and I was expecting to see this after tapping into the fair value gap here running above, and it gave, let's measure how much we could get from this position over here. Yeah, you can see about 55 handles we could get in this position within 2 minutes. So it panned out, and if your strategy is letting you to trade like this or take this trade, it's quite considerable amount of money, around 1000 per contract. Now we are going below the fair value gap I mentioned, and let's see how the market is behaving. So far we are in a kind of dirty market structure. I didn't like it a lot, except the fact from the beginning of opening bell we dropped down immediately to the relative equal lows that I mentioned, and consolidation over here that I was expecting to send price higher. After that, all the market over here is a dirty back and forth. You can see this week over here, these are very long weeks for this market, and the condition is dangerous for risking. To me today I'm already done for trading because I got my profit target of the day with the first position, but I'm just here to taper it with you guys and improve my knowledge in the price action. Alright, now we see the reaction from this fair value gap over here that sent the price again higher. From here to here is around 23 handles, which is quite good. If your plan is 20 handles for a trade, within 1 minute you could achieve it with very small amount of drawdown, which is around 7.25 handles. Now let's see if the market is trading higher. Now we are inside the first presented fair value gap of today, and let's see the market reaction to this. Oh, nice. Going with lower price and respecting the consequent encouragement of the week. Look at the price over here, 18,402.75, and I'm interested to see the low of that candle over here, which is 18,403. It's one tick above the consequent encouragement of this week over here, and no one can complain or argue with me to make me believe this market is not run by any algorithm. I'm so happy that I had the chance and ability to learn this concept from Michael J. Huddleston, the author of ICT, Inner Circle Trader, and all of these things are taught to me by watching the courses for free on his YouTube channel. You just need to search ICT and all the contents will be in your YouTube for free. You just need to put enough time and encouragement yourself for continuing and trading. And I mean not trading with live money or even funded accounts, trading in demo accounts and just waiting some time, spending some time watching the price, how the price is reacting, if these concepts are working really in your hands or not. To me, it is proof that these concepts are working pretty well without any problem. So I have no doubt, but you as a newcomer, it's always better to test it yourself. So I suggest you start watching the videos in 2024 mentorship. This is the best playlist that I can suggest you. After that, you can continue watching the videos on 2022 mentorship. That is another model, very simple, straightforward. And let's see which one is better for you, that suits your characteristic, and out of that you can carve out your own model. Okay, so far we had a very nice reaction from the first presented fair value gap over here, and we traded something around 60 or let's say 70 handles from the first presented fair value gap within 3 minutes. Let's see if this fair value gap over here is acting as an inversion fair value gap to send price lower. From the higher time frame perspective, if you want to watch the market in the 15-minute chart over here, we can see we had a breaker block over here, high, low, higher, high, clearing the buy side liquidity over here of the relative equal highs, and market after opening went down. It reached up to this breaker block over here, and after touching in the second candle, it retraced to lower and tried to reach to this relative equal lows over here. So this is from the higher time frame perspective. Now we are getting back to the 1 minute chart, and we see we touched again the low of the open range gap. We are still trading inside this fair value gap in 1 minute chart. That is, in my opinion, changing its characteristic to inversion. Let's see. Now I'm watching in this area here. This is a volume imbalance. I would like to see how the market is reacting to this. Once again, we touched the low of the first presented fair value gap, and now we can see how the market is behaving around here, if it has the power to go higher or not. It sent the market lower, and you can see still this fair value gap didn't lose its characteristic as an inversion. So I'm expecting now a big red candle going below and clear the sell side liquidity over here. Let me mark it on the chart. This one is our sell side liquidity. As you can see, this is a quite big red candle as I was expecting, and the next candle I'm expecting to keep lowering, and within the next two candles touching this sell side liquidity over here. Now we are trading around the consequent encouragement of the week. 7 seconds to close this candle. Okay. Once again, we try to reach to the inversion fair value gap that is here. Let me correct this. touching the low of the inversion fair value gap once again, and in this candle we have to see a big displacement lower to keep the idea of sending price lower valid. I don't like to see price trading inside the inversion fair value gap and the consequent encouragement. Okay, we are getting closer to the sell side liquidity as I mentioned. Trading at the new day opening gap high, and let's see the market reaction. In this candle, I'm expecting to purge the sell side liquidity. Still, we have 30 seconds to close for this candle. As you can see, the market today is doing a lot of back and forth, and this is not very beautiful in the market price action, but this is part of the market and I love this. It increases your patience, it gives you a lot of power to control your emotions, and these are all necessary things for you in trading journey. It is a quiet, indecisive candle. We don't like this, but I'm still waiting for seeing the sell side liquidity to be purged. Let's see if it has the power to touch the sell side liquidity and ideally the low of the new day opening gap. Bingo! We touch both of the sell side liquidity and new day opening gap low in this candle, and you can consider your entry from this white candle over here. That is kind of institutional entry drill order flow. We traded from here to this sell side is giving us 33 handles, and to the new day opening gap low we have around 50 handles, which is 1000 per contract. This is amazing, even in difficult situations and hard days like today. We can see the market is respecting, and it gives us the signs to enter for positions. First, we traded here after the market rejected going higher prices. It started going lower, and here we created this CB over here, as you can see in this candle. When I was saying I'm expecting to see a big run lower after touching the low of the first presented fair value gap, and this candle is closing below the low of the ORG, so everything is showing weakness in the market structures. And here in this candle we had the chance to enter for this CB over here and get our 40 or 50 handles round to the sell side liquidity or low of the new day opening gap. It is around 10:20, and I think for today it's quite enough. I have reached to my daily target with the first position I had over here, and this was the second position if I wanted to get into, because it's giving very straightforward and direct run toward our sell side liquidity and our target. So I hope you all enjoyed this session, and just a little markup for my own studies. This can be the first, the 1 minute, and this can be inversion as I mentioned. So I hope you all enjoyed this price action studying together, and the first trade from the first presented fair value gap that gave us within 2 minutes $800 per one contract, because I was entering only one contract. In my opinion, this setup over here, the chart setup I mean, is much more helpful, because we have the overview from higher time frames over here that during the live session you saw I was referring to this 5-minute and 15-minute charts in order to get more accurate analysis for my trade. And that's it for today. For all of you, I hope you a very happy day and happy journey for trading. Don't lose your hope, and only stay focused to study and practice more. So to see you next time, most likely tomorrow. Have a good day and good trading.